Christmas a humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Merry Christmas? What right do you have to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come then, Uncle. What right do you have to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Bah! Humbug!
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be, when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas? Out upon Merry Christmas. What's Christmas time to you but a time to pay bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older but not an hour richer. A time for balancing the books and having every item through a dozen months presented dead against you. Every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart, he should.
Uncle.
Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine. Let me leave it alone then. Much good it may do you, much good it has ever done you.
There are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited, I dare say. Christmas among the rest. But I am sure I have, apart from the veneration due to its sacred name and origin, if anything belonging to it become in this pleasant time. The only time I know of it in the long calendar year when men and women seem, by one consent, to open their shut-up hearts freely, and to think the grave, and not another race of creatures bound their journeys. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good, and will do me good. And I say, God bless it, Uncle.
Let me hear another sound from you, and keep your Christmas by losing your situation. You're quite a powerful speaker. I wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow. But why? Why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love? Good afternoon.
Nay, Uncle, but you never came to see me before that happened. But why give it a reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask you nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I'm really sorry with all my heart to find you so resolute. We have never had any quarrel to which I have been a party, but I have made Christmas the trial and homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And by the way, Uncle, we are not going to have dinner at my house this Christmas. I'm going to have it at the local KFC down on 15th and Chartail. So, Merry Christmas, Uncle. Scrooge at Marley's, I believe? Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night.
We have no doubt this liberty is well represented by his surviving partner.
At this festive season of year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly at this present time.
Many thousands are in want of common necessities. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comforts, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons?
And are the union workhouses still in operation?
They are still. I wish I could say they were not.
The treadmill and the poor law are full of vigor then.
Both very busy, sir.
Oh, I was afraid from what you said at first that something has occurred to stop them in their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it.
Under the impression that they are scarcely furnished Christian cheer of mind or body to the multitude, a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink for the means of warmth. We chose this time because it is a time of all others, when want is keenly felt, and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for, sir?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. I can't afford to make ideal people merry. I hope to support the establishment I have mentioned. They cost enough, and those who are badly off must go there.
Many can go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, have them better do it and decrease the surplus population. Besides, excuse me, I do not know that.
But you know it.
It is not my business. Is it not enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with other people's? Mine occupies me constantly.
But you might know it.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and I do not appreciate solicitors. Mr. Cratchit, please escort them off the premises. And what do you want?
Hey, Frace, don't make it bad. Take a bad movie and make it glad. And remember to give us extra credit, 'cause we deserve it. Oh, 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 oh. Na 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 na. Ooh, na 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 na. Hey, Frace. Na 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 na. Whoa, whoa, na 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 na. Hey, Frace. Oh, Frace. Extra credit, please. We love your class with all our heart and soul.
You'll want the whole day tomorrow, I suppose.
If quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I were to stop half a crown for it, you think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound. And yet, you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
It's only once a year.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier the next morning.
Thank you, Mr. Scrooge. I knew you were a good man.
It's humbug. I won't believe it. How now? What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then?
In life I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it then.
You don't believe in me?
I don't.
What evidence would you have of my reality beyond that of your senses?
I don't know.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects him. A slight disorder of the stomach makes him cheats. You may be as indigestion of a bit of beer, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. There's more gravy than grave about you. Whatever you are. Do you see this hat?
I do,
You're not looking at it.
but I see it, notwithstanding.
Well, I have but to swallow this and be the rest of my days persecuted by a legion of goblins of all my own creation. Humbug, I tell you, humbug! Mercy! Dreadful apparition, why do you trouble me?
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do, I must. But why do spirits walk the earth? And why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men, and travel far and wide, and that if that spirit does not go forth in life, It is condemned to do so forth after death. It is doomed to wander through the world. Oh, woe is me, and witness what I cannot share, but might have shared on earth, and turn to happiness.
You are fettered. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link, and yard by yard. I girded it on my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it. It is patterned strange to you. Or would you know, the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself, it was as full, as heavy, and as long as this. 7 Christmas Eves ago, you have labored on it since. It is a ponderous train.
Jacob? Old Jacob Marley? Tell me more. Speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. It comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge, and is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men. Nor can I tell you what I would. A very little more is all permitted me to. My spear never walked beyond our counting house, mark me, and life never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing hole, and weary journeys lie before me.
You must have been very slow about it, Jacob.
Slow.
7 years dead? And traveling all the time?
The whole time. No rest, no peace, incessant torture of remorse.
You travel fast?
On the wings of the wind.
You might have got over a great quantity of ground in 7 years.
O captive bound and double ironed, not to know that ages of incessant labor by immortal creatures.
But you were always a good businessman, Jacob.
Business. Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. At this time of the rolling year I suffer most. Why did I walk the crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down, and never raised them to that blessing star which led the wise men to a poor abode? Were there no poor homes to which its light would have conducted me? Hear me, my time is nearly gone.
I will. But don't be hard upon me. Don't be flowery, Jacob. Pray.
How is it that I appear before you in a shape that you can see? I may not tell. I have sat invisible beside you many and many a day. That is no light part of my penance. I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope of my procuring, Ebenezer.
You are always a good friend to me. Thank thee.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance and hope you mentioned, Jacob?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I treaded. Expect the first tomorrow, when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once and have it all over, Jacob?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third upon the next night, when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more, and look that, for which your own sake, you remember what has passed between us.
Humbug!